Remember where I left off before? I think we were still in the pentatonic part of the neck. So we were playing between. I'm gonna take my hand away so you'll be able to see. It'll be a little noisier, but. You can use this note here. Because you have two Ds here, okay, you can make up a whole bunch of stuff. And this note, this string is the same as this one. This note a lot too, or this, I showed you this before. You can use that a lot with your slide. Go up to your 4 chord. And you can also slide from here at the 6th. Okay. That's something I didn't show you. Because these are two Ds, you can another lick I'd like to show you is the old. And how I'm doing that lick is I'm at the 5th fret on the 5th string, and I've got my ring finger there. And then I roll down onto these two strings at the 5th fret, the 4th and 3rd. Okay, then I go to at the 3rd fret, those same two strings. Okay, and I use this finger. So you can do it once. This is the old Muddy Waters lick. You can do it once or twice. Or you can do it twice. And what I'm doing is hitting that, going back to the D. So you can do it this way, or you can do it this way. You can play around in here. There's so much and so many open strings and things that you can do that, I mean, you can just improvise endlessly. 5th string, 5th fret, then roll down, bar these two, bar these two, Another trick that I'd like to show you that I learned in standard tuning in the key of E many years ago, but it applies to open D too because the intervals on these two strings are the same. I already showed you this lick. Well, I'd like to show you the rest of that. You can start here. Okay, we're at the 12th fret with our middle finger on the B string, and on the B string, and on the 2nd string, and on the 1st string we're on the 10th. Whoops. So you can bring that all the way down. Sorry, I made a couple mistakes there, but okay. Falling down into that lick that you already know. Okay, so for this next lick, so we have this part. Okay, so if we're on the 1 chord, did there was, and then into the 4 chord. So what I did there was I went to the 4th fret, your 1st finger on the 1st string, okay? Then the 5th fret, your middle finger on the 2nd string, okay? And then into your 4 chord. So you're going down a whole step, but which is 2 frets, but you're sliding down 1 fret at a time. Okay? Whoops. So for this next lick, we'll use those two ones that we just learned, and we'll put them together. So we'll start out on the 1 chord going. So what I did there was on the one chord, I used both of them before I went back to it and then went down into the 4 chord. Okay, so you can stay on this one for the 1 chord. Into the 4 chord, or you can use both of them on the 1 chord and then fall down. What I was doing there was when I was going to my 5 chord and then my 4 chord, was I was starting here. Okay, so at the 2nd fret, hitting, you know, these top string, these low strings here. And then for my shuffle, I was also going. Instead of doing the whole turnaround, I was just going on my 3rd fret at the 5th string and the 2nd and hitting the high D. For anybody who's interested, this is a, I think I've showed this guitar before, my National Polychrome Triolean. It's a very nice guitar. Anyway, I hope that those licks helped. So now we've been doing pentatonic stuff. What I'd like to do now is move over to the major scale in open D, so we can have play some things a little more melodic. So we're going to be at the 2nd fret on the 1st string, and we're going to go open on the 2nd fret on the B string, or the 2nd string. Then we're going to go on the 3rd string at the on the 1st fret, open. Then on the 2nd, on the 4th, open. 2nd on the 5th, open, and on the 6th, open. So we're going to go. To the 4th, open. Then we're going to do our 4 chord, which is going to be on the 5th string, 2nd fret, with our middle finger, and on the 3rd string, 1st fret. So we can play it like this with no other finger down, or we can use this finger on the 2nd string on the 2nd fret. So that's our 4 chord. It's the same as this. And we can use these notes in between. So now instead of thinking at the 3rd fret like we were before when we were playing, we're doing everything on the 2nd. For our 5 chord, we're just going to move this finger down and this finger down. So before we were here, oops, sorry. So this finger stays the same. So instead of going from the 5th to the 3rd like we were doing before, we're going to the 2nd instead of going to the 3rd. That's more pentatonic bluesy. Now we're going to be doing this stuff, but we're going to be going to the 2nd. That's some kind of a minor chord. I don't know what it is. I think it's a B minor or something. Maybe, I don't know. E minor. And what we're doing is we're going from the 5th down to the 4th on the 2nd string, and then down to the 2nd. So we can go. So remember your 4 chord, and you can add this string, and then move those 2 down, and you have your 5 chord. And remember, so we're going from the 5th to the 2nd. Well, here it's the 4th though. But you can use that 5th too. Okay, so that just gives you a little more of a melodic sound. And all that is harmonics at the 12th fret, the 5th fret, or 7th fret, and the 5th fret. So you're going. So you can just play around in there. next lick is another melodic one, and what we're going to do here is we're going to go. Sorry, I'm a little out of tune. Okay, and what we're doing here is, if you'll look, I'm on the I've got my ring finger on the first string at the 2nd fret, then on the 4th string, or no, the 3rd string, I've got my 1st finger, and I'm leaving the middle one open. Okay, and you can move that up a whole step. Okay, and then go to the 5th fret, and you're moving this finger up so that your fingers are parallel or whatever, so that you're on the 5th with your middle finger on the 3rd string, and your ring finger's on the 1st string. So you're going. You're doing the same thing here. So you can move that around. From here and go up, you just put your fingers back to where they were down here. So now at the 7th fret, you are using your ring finger on the 1st string at the 7th fret, your middle finger on the 7th fret at the 3rd string, and then you're moving up a half step, but you're switching this finger back to your 1st. So from the 12th fret, stuff in there to improvise with and play around with. And another one that I wanted to show you was, you know, your 4 chord without this finger on the string. Okay, you can move that up, go up a whole step. And you can move that up the same. Move it up, and when you get to the 5th fret, then you switch your fingers so that your fingers are up and down. They're not like that. Like we did here. So now we're here. Okay. So from the 12th fret, on the 5th string, 12th fret, and the 4th or 3rd string at the 12th fret, whole step, half step, then you're moving your finger from, you're going a half step, then putting your 1st finger, okay, 7th fret, 5th fret, okay, 3rd, or yeah, 4th and 3rd, Okay, this next one is a tough one for many people. It's tough for me. I mean, even still, that I've been playing for years. And this is the alternating bass one. Okay, we know how to do this. We know how to keep that one bass going. But this one is tougher. This one's very hard to do slow. So the only thing that I can recommend there is that you just, until you get this solid. Like I said, it's very hard to do slow, so it's hard for me to teach it. Try to keep that going solid, and then just add things in. Stay on just the 3rd fret with 2 strings if you have to, just 2 notes, right on the beat. Get stuff off the beat. But it's very hard to do slow, but that's how you have to learn it. If you have to sit in front of the TV, you know what I mean, watching your favorite show or the game or whatever, but just keep hitting those strings. I hope that helps. Closing with this one, what I'd like to say is that I think it's important for you to beat the guitar when you're playing blues stuff. I mean, yeah, you want to be, you know, sometimes with some stuff you're gentle, but I just think it's important to play hard, because that's the guys that I listen to, that's how they play. So don't be afraid of making mistakes and just keep on picking.